So this is our graph that was given in the exam. This was what we were given to use to illustrate our graph. So I have marked the y-axis and the x-axis only, and I want us to mark the axis together. This is our center origin with coordinates 0 and 0. Let me say this is 1, and then this is 2, 3, this is 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And also on this side, this is 1, this is -2, -3, -4, -5, and -6. You adjust your values to fit in the values to accommodate all the values that you were given. So I have marked the horizontal axis, and even the same scale is okay for the vertical. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have marked my vertical axis. And then down here, we shall have -1 and -2, -3, -4, -5, and finally here -6. Please use a ruler and make your marking very neat. I'm using my free hand. So this is our graph. We have marked on it. Even someone could also indicate here 8, 7 is here. So if you have been writing, then you have the analysis of the given inequalities, and I still remember them. The first one was x is less than or equal to 6. So we say this is a line cutting the x-axis at 0.6. So you go to your x-axis. This is the x-axis, this line here, this horizontal line. And there is a line cutting it at 6. The line x equals to 6. So there's a line vertical here. You can draw it as long as you want. Straight here on this line until it meets 6. It has cut the x-axis at 0.6. You run it vertically downwards. Use a ruler. And then up to here. So that is our line. This is the first line. X is less than or equal to 6. It is a solid line as you have seen. But remember, we are supposed to shade. We are supposed to shade the unwanted region and leave the wanted region. So this is our line. X is less than or equal to 6, right? X is less than or equal to 6. So if you look at this line, there are values on this side and there are also values on this side. Which side has values that are less than x? And x is 6. We have seen here x equals to 6. So which side has values which are less than 6? So this is 6. If you go to your right, then it is increasing. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So those values are more than 6. But our x is supposed to be equal to or less than 6. So it means if x is 7, then is 7 less than or equal to 6? This is no, right? This is no. 7 is not less than or equal to 6. 7 is more than 6. So this region is unwanted because it does not satisfy the inequality. So you shade it out like this. You can shade it very long as you want. This is how you shade it out. So this part of the inequality is unwanted because it does not satisfy the inequality given. We have shaded that. Then we go to the next line. X equals to 2. Let me change the color. So for x equals to 2, it cuts the x-axis at 0.2. So you come to the x-axis again, it is here. So the line cuts at 2. So you just use a ruler and draw a straight line. I'm using my free hand and draw a straight line in that manner as long as you want. Yes, this is our line. X is more than or equal to 2. Was it more than? Yes. X is more than or equal to 2. That is the line. So which side of the line has numbers bigger than 2 and which side has numbers less than 2? It says that x should be more than 2 or equal to 2. So which side is more than 2? This side to the right, because 2, 3, 4, 5, those ones are more than 2. But from 2 to the left, those ones are less than 2. And our inequality is looking for numbers that are equal to 2 or more than 2. So this side is not true. This side does not satisfy because this side gives us values which are less than 2. So we shade out this side. It does not satisfy the given inequality. That side does not satisfy the inequality because the numbers in this region are not more than 2. But the question was saying the numbers which are more than or equal to 2. We have plotted that. And then again, we have y is less than or equal to 4. This line cuts the y-axis at 4, right? Let me change the color. It cuts the y-axis at 4. So you come to 4, then you cut the y-axis at 4 in this manner. You cut the y-axis at 4. Straight line, like that. You cut the y-axis at 4. Please use a straight line. This is the line. Y is more than or equal to 4. I hope it is more than. Let me check. It is less than or equal to 4. Less than or equal to 4. So from here, we look for numbers which side has values which are less than or equal to 4. This is 4. If I go up, they are more than 4. If I go down, they are less than 4. That means where they are less than 4 satisfies the inequality. It wants y less than 4. So above 4, then they do not satisfy the inequality. So we shade out that region in that manner. This side here does not satisfy the inequality. Yes, because the inequality wants numbers which are less than 4. So from 4, 3 to towards 0 until it changes into negative. And then for the last part, this is where we tabulated our results in a given table. And our points, if you remember, were we had 0 and 3, and then 0.2 and 2. So we need to plot all this first. This is the value of x. Remember, this is x. This is x. This is y. This is x. This is y. So for the first point, x is 0 and y is 3. If x is 0 here and y is 3, this is 3. So the point is there. And then x is 2 and y is 2. X is 2 here and y is 2. It is here. X is 2 and y is 2. So there's a straight line joining this point and that point. So you're supposed to use a ruler. You join this point straight to this. Then you continue with a straight line. I'm not sure whether that is straight, but I hope so. Use a ruler. And then you also go up here straight line up like that. I've tried anyway. This is our line. Now which side are we going to shade? Which side is unwanted? Now it is not direct as the others. So for us to get which side we are going to shade out, we choose a point either on this side of the line or on the other side of the line where my cursor is. And now in this case, I'm going to choose a point on this side of the line where my cursor is. I'm going to choose a point at the origin and I'm going to call them the test. And I'm testing with the point 0 and 0. And remember our inequality is x plus 2y. Is it more than? Yes, it is more than or equal to 6. It is more than or equal to 6. So I'm simply going to substitute for x and y and see if it satisfies the inequality. So my x is 0 plus 2 times y is 0. 2 times 0 is also 0. Is more than or equal to 6. So 0 plus 0 is 0. is more than or equal to 6. Then you ask yourself, is 0 more than or equal to 6? No, 0 is not more than or equal to 6. So this side straight away does not satisfy the inequality because it is not giving values which are more than or equal to 6, right? Okay, someone would say, what if we pick a point from the other side? It is fine. The point should be on this side entirely, but not on the line. Like for example, I can pick a point here. I can pick 4 and 4 because 4 is here and the other 4. So now the point falls here. So if I pick point 4 and 4, just for test, 4 and 4. If I pick point 4 and 4 for test, I don't know what I've said there, how I sounded. It means our x is 4 and our y is 4. So we shall have 4 plus 2y, that is 2 times 4, 8, is more than or equal to 6. 4 plus 8 is 12, is more than or equal to 6. Then you ask yourself, is 12 more than 6? Really? Is 12 more than or equal to 6? Yes. 12 is more than 6. And therefore, since we picked a point from this other side of the inequality, this side is true. It satisfies the inequality. So this is the representation of that question. And what shape has it formed? The shape that it has formed is, which color can I use here? Let me use green. Like if you look here, we have this one like this. Let me zoom it in. We have, this thing is very thick. Let me reduce it like that. So we have, this is it. This is the shape that we have formed, that I'm putting the border green. I'm using freehand. This is the shape that has formed, not easy. Here on that line, and also here. So the shape that we have formed here is, it is a trapezium, not so. This shape is a trapezium. Let me write it here somewhere here. It is a trapezium. And there are questions below there that are asking about something of the area. Calculate the area of the wanted region. So we shall do that in part B. So this is the solution to number 15A. We have represented the given inequalities on a graph, and we have shown the wanted region, which is forming a trapezium, by shading off the unwanted region. It has taken time, but this detailed explanation was very necessary. I encourage you to find time and go through a list of videos that we have made on this very topic called inequality and linear programming. So in the next videos, we shall be going to part B and part C of the same number, but you check this out on this same channel. Otherwise, thank you for being here and for following it from the beginning up to the end. I believe you have learned something, and in case you still have doubts and something you would like to clarify, feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.